Bus doesn't arrive till 3.
I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah. No, you're ruining my jokes. I got worried about writing a speech, so I decided to take something that had been written already and use it. A speech that I heard about merely 2 days ago, and probably the best starting speech to anything. So Stephen, you may not be the most beautiful woman in the world.
Go on, Bill.
Okay, no. I'll go back on script. So, as Stephen mentioned, we met each other in school. We were friends in school. He was my friend in school. I'm trying to think. Well, it's like I'm sort of self-censoring. You know, it's like, well, what can I say about Stephen? Seriously, what can I say? What am I going to get in trouble for? No, we'd known each other since school. When about second year, I guess we met, or became friends after Steve got back from Ring, and I guess had a pretty parallel trajectory. Ironically enough, both ending up in Sweden for different periods of time for different reasons. But the things, when I asked people what was Stephen known for in school, they came back with, you know, resounding positives, of course. A largely empty basement that could be used for football games. An ability to injure himself at any sport that he decided to turn his hand to. And something that didn't come out till much after we left school, and that was his absolute passion. And we didn't realise this, but Stephen has an absolute passion for education. I see surprised looks around the table, but it's true, and he's very modest about this. And really, the only reason it came to light is we found out that our previous untraceable crimes of not turning up to class, when they ended one day, when all of a sudden people started getting caught. Several years later, it turned out that Stephen Kennelly had been worried about our education and had been telling the Dean of Studies. Alan and Hugh, both who aren't here today, I don't know if there's a correlation. They say hi.
If you knew, you'd understand.
Aside from education, of course, Stephen's other passions, as I'm sure everyone knows, is both sport and music, in probably equal measures. Sport, I guess, well, both of them he tried to participate in to varying degrees of success, which is to say, not a great deal. As we heard, his career-ending injury at the hands of Mr. Brady over here, taking him off the rugby fourths. His snowboarding career came to a violent end, I believe, very slowly, as he gently fell off his snowboard, which somehow managed to end him in traction for several months when he broke his leg. And but he's since turned his love of sport, as we all know, into a successful career at commentating on it. His musical career, on the other hand, however, was less successful, and has participation in it involved playing in a band and being the only percussionist I've ever heard of that would say, well, you can't blame me for being out of time because I'm taking my time off the bass player. This bass player, of course, couldn't play bass at all and had no sense of rhythm, but has since grown up, I think, to be dashingly handsome, well able to rock a yellow tie, and has a wonderful turn of Swedish. A good Swedish accent, to say. Next page. We're getting near the end. Steve and I, after school, we of course remained friends the whole time through school. Then got friends again. Sort of continued our friendship through college, where we were both in DIT, and also to the point of going to do our J1s together in New York. And when I say do our J1s together, I mean we stayed in the same room for 4 months with no air conditioning, me and Stephen. So when you hear of Emma's patience and ability to sleep through any amount of noise or smell, yeah, it's, I understand. It was about I guess the time in Southampton when we were living in someone, I can't even remember our landlord's name. It was something terrible like Justice Malloy or something like that. Justice, yeah. I discovered Stephen's other, well, one thing that would characterise his passion throughout his life, and one sort of reoccurring thread that would come up again and again and again. That is, of course, the super furry animals. Just in case you thought I was going to say anything else. This had a major, probably the worst band ever from Wales, had a major impact on Stephen's musical participation, I guess, at this point, be it him going and buying their CDs and mini discs and whatnot, or travelling to their gigs, or signing into his blog as Super Furrier to review the Radiohead CD. And should anyone want to read that particular blog entry, we can make sure that the link gets spread out to the people during the order, because it's still up there. Super Furrier, yeah, exactly. If you didn't know, anyway. Again, like I said, Stephen has a lot of friends who can't be here, or can't be here, just aren't here because it's bears and wolves and stuff in the woods. But they send me a large list of very humorous emails to read out about Stephen. Unfortunately, I can't go through them, because I will get into an enormous amount of trouble with nearly everyone here at some point. The highlights of the other traits of Sweden or of Stephen, and Sweden, I guess. I'm sure some of you have discovered he is completely incapable of drinking out of a bottle like a normal human being, insisting to drink through the side of his mouth for whatever reason, as he is demonstrating here. Sorry, I should say there were 3 traits I was going to highlight. The second one is, and this is especially pertinent as we get to 10 to 10, it's his inability to stay awake past about 10 o'clock. So, again, yes, as I say, I better hurry this on if we want him to be awake for the last dance, and we're not going to put him in one of those wheelbarrows and waltz on the first dance and want him to be wheelbarrowed around the room. And the last trait, I guess, is that Stephen is an exceptionally good friend, and someone that I'm completely proud to have as one of my friends and feel honoured for it. So I have no doubt, or I know that he will take exceptionally good care of Emma and be a wonderful son-in-law, as I'm sure that Emma will be a wonderful daughter-in-law to Susie and Kieran. So, for my last cheers, I'd like to raise a glass and say, Aliope, Ingen Protesvenske.